but does it ever get old just getting back north to Canada and getting a chance to play here?
Not really. It's always fun. It's always nice to come back out here, see my people, see my friends and stuff like that. And it's always a great atmosphere whenever we come out here and play.
It's been a big Montreal week. That mattered the other night. You today, Mac coming on Saturday.
Oh, for real?
Chris
Nice.
here all the time.
Nice.
What about the Montreal aspect of the development of the game and how you take responsibility for what's going on in that city?
It's growing. It's growing. You can see now that there's so many more talents coming out of Montreal. So many good players. We got a good numbers in the league right now. There's so many in college and in high school doing their thing right now. So it's just showing how much Montreal is becoming a basketball city.
Chris was telling me just an hour ago that you and him take a great level of responsibility for helping young players in Montreal. Did you have people like that when you were growing up to help you?
Well, I kind of did. I mean, Joel Anthony was one of them. Simon Dallenberg was some of the guys that was from Montreal. I didn't really get to watch them play as much. They was way older than me, but Chris was one of them. Me and Chris has a pretty good age gap, and his path and where he went, going through that. So, but we do take responsibility, just seeing that we one of the first is to still be in right now, and then seeing so many kids that wants to be like us. So it's great to be in this position.
How would you compare the pain of losing playoff series with your boys you're with all year to how things went down in the Olympics and losing that group of guys? Is heartbreak, or is one a little different?
It's always heartbreak whenever you lose a game or a series or whatever. But it comes with the game. You got to live with it. Every time we step on the court, we always do everything to win the game. And then whenever it doesn't happen, it comes with the game. So we got to live with it. And speaking of Shea, I'm just happy to see it's growing. From the league to Team Canada and everything he's been representing has been huge.
We haven't talked to you since the Olympics. What was that experience like, and would you do it again?
Of course. Yeah, it was great. It was really fun. I'm always proud to wear my country on my chest, and it's really a great experience. It was made history. It's been a long time since Canada basketball made it to that. So I'll be happy to do it again.
Did it make you a better player?
Of course. It's a different type of basketball. Playing against the top players from all around the world. It was amazing. It was a different experience, and it definitely did make me better.
Kind of going into tonight's game, kind of what stands out to you about the Raptors and what you got to look out for tonight?
They've been playing really well. They won a couple of the past couple games. They got a lot of aggressive guys. Barrett, I shared a court with during the summertime, knowing his game and how aggressive he is. So, they've been doing pretty well. So we just got to lock into our scouting report and go out there and compete.
You get Alex back tonight. How does that benefit this team?
Great. It's always nice to have another guy back, especially Alex, how much he brings into the court for us. So, we're happy he's back tonight.
When defensively, thinking the Raptors are one of the top teams in transition, how do you approach a team that kind of plays that style of basketball?
Got to get back. Whenever a shot goes up, if we don't get the rebound, got to get back. They've been doing a good job of running the floor. So if we don't secure an offensive rebound, we just got to run back.
Last year, you guys were kind of up and coming, surprising people, big jumps. This year, you're kind of the hunted. Does it feel different being a favorite?
Not really. We don't really pay attention to that. Our main thing is to just go out there and compete. It's nice to be in a position like that, yes, but we don't really pay attention to that. We just go out there and try to win games.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Mark, this Raptors team's been really good at home this season. What do you see as some of the challenges that they present to you, just given the youth and the hunger and the talent?
Yeah, they're playing well right now, and the theme is they're playing harder than people. They play fast in transition. They play hard on defense. They play hard with the pace of their offense, and so you have to bring great energy. Indiana game was a great example of that. Indiana, they just kind of outplayed Indiana early and built that big lead. Obviously, Indiana got all the way back in it, but they're playing really hard. We got to be ready for a very hard-playing, hungry team tonight.
You always talk about kind of walking alongside your players. Just two of Canada's sons here on your team and coming back. Maybe could you just kind of speak to the care that the organization has for these guys that come into the team?
Yeah, I mean, it's great playing here. I love playing here. It's a great fan base, and they've from day one shown great support to Shea and Lou, which I always really respected. And we love Shea and Lou, obviously. We love that they're representing our team because they're great representatives of whatever, whether it's their family or the organization or their country. They do a great job of representing whatever jersey they're wearing, and we're proud that it's ours.
Mark, I know Shea is closer maybe to Toronto than Lou is historically, but I guess how do you see those two maybe kind of enter their element when they step into this country?
Well, they love being back here. They love playing here, and like I said, they're really well received here. The fans are really, really gracious with both of those players, and so I know they love playing in front of friends and family. They have a lot of people come to the game tonight. They always play pretty well here, and so it's exciting for them. Anytime our guys go back towards their hometown or home country, it's always a special experience, and tonight's obviously no different.
Was there a noticeable difference in one or both coming out of the Olympics?
I wouldn't say, they're not really epiphany players. So, like, they're not guys that have made these, like, huge epiphany jumps. What they've done, though, is they've made steady progress over time through the experiences they've had. Most of those experiences have been with us, but they grow through the experiences of playing in those situations. And I know they take tremendous pride in representing their country, and they're kind of in uncharted territory, with what they've done with Canada basketball, along with the other, great players that are on that team. And they take a lot of pride in it. And so I think it's helped them from that standpoint. It's also helped them from a tactical standpoint. They see a different style of basketball, and they've grown from that. But it hasn't been a situation where it's like that's solely, it's not A to B. A equals B.
Kind of on that theme, right? Like your team is so young, had a playoff disappointment last year. Shea and Lou going to the summer and kind of have their heart broken in a way. And it's questionable how many scars you need to actually, have what it takes to win. But does it kind of help your cause that these guys are going out and dealing with those kind of situations, that kind of intensity?
Yeah, it's competition, and the more competitive, the more, you're talking about the NBA playoffs. I mean, those are the best teams playing in, the biggest stage. And where would you rather be than there? The Olympics, those are the best teams playing on the biggest, world stage. Where would you rather be than there? Part of competition is getting punched. You can't be in the ring and expect not to get punched. And so you have to love competing, and you have to love getting in the ring, and understand that you're going to get punched sometimes, but it's better than being outside the ring. And those are guys that love being in the thick of the competition. And we're a team that loves being in the thick of the competition. So we lean into all those experiences.
Coach, considering that the Raptors are starting their new era, the term rebuilding has been used multiple times. You know a thing or two about taking a team from the bottom to the top of the conference. What can you say about trusting the process and being patient as your team grows?
Well, first of all, I know Darko personally. He was here as an assistant coach, and I have great respect for him. He's doing things the right way. That's evident with how they play. That's evident with how they behave. And what I would say is it can happen fast, and you want to be ready when it does. The system is designed to make you better if you're not there yet. You have cap room, you have higher draft picks, you have, so the system puts you in a position to improve. And you want your environment to be ready for when your team improves. You want your system of play to be ready when your team improves. You want your players, the development of your players, you want your players to be ready when your team improves. And, I said this the other night because we were talking about Utah. We played Utah the other night that's in a similar position. When the seeds are planted, you don't always see the seeds because they're underground. But when they sprout, then you start to see them, and that's what happens, if you stick with it. And we've tried to stick with it, and we've grown as a result. We're not where we want to be. We're not a finished product, but this is a program that from a distance, I'm not watching every game, but from a distance, they're a program that if they stick with it, they're going to make steady improvement, and I think they're on the right track.
Mark, I was talking to J-Dub, and he was talking about Lou as a personality and mentioned sense of humor, and he said that there's like a scale of sarcasm. He's maybe not as far along as you are, but he's pretty far along, and we might not see that, but I guess between you and Lou, like what's the banter like, and how would you describe his sense of humor?
there's not a lot of banter with Lou. I wouldn't describe him like that. I don't see that side of him. I see him as a very pure individual. You know, he's not pretentious. There's never an agenda with him. What you see is what you get. He is about as authentic of a person as you're getting. And that shows up sometimes in the team setting where, you know, he'll say something that's very like blunt and honest and it comes off as funny. But that's the way I see him. You know, he's as authentic as they come. He's just such a high integrity person. What you see is always what you get with Lou. He's been like that. I've seen him in every situation. You know, when he first got here as a two-way, you know, it was completely unestablished in the NBA, and now he's obviously a stone cold NBA starting level player, best deep perimeter defender in the league, and he's the exact same guy.
If Alex is able to play tonight, what does he bring since tonight's game?
He's available tonight. We're just similar to any of these other guys coming off injuries. We don't overreact to their individual performance their first game back. You know, where they restart is where they restart. We're just happy to have them back. The season's long. We got a lot of season left. We're going to need everybody. We're certainly going to need him. He brings great energy, wisdom, defense, systematic offense to our team. And so having him healthy is a great thing, and we're excited to have him back.
What was some of the thinking going behind having Shea increase his three-point volume as significantly as he has?
I think it's the bigger picture thing. You know, that's obviously like a very tangible and loud increase. But the bigger picture thing is when you become a player as elite as he is, teams are going to throw new problems at you that you have to solve. And the best players continue to clear those hurdles and they continue to solve the problems, which obviously he's done. But it's how he gets played, you know, and he's the best driver in the NBA for 5 years running now. And so teams do different things to take that away. They double him, and he's really improved his solutions there. They really shrink up and offer very heavy help, which Toronto's done to him in the past, and he gets off it earlier and earlier, and the team is ready to play off of that. And they also will gap him some. You know, they'll play off of him to try to catch those drives, and that's where the three-point volume is helpful, because there's, the horizontal space on the court, which is when people think of spacing, they think of like shooting around. I'm sorry, I keep hitting everybody's microphone. They think of shooting around a guy, but there's also vertical spacing, which you can get from cutting, rolling, driving, and also three-point shooting. And him and Dub have both done a nice job of blending some of those pull-up threes in to increase our vertical spacing, which ultimately just makes the floor bigger for him and us.
More general question is, like, you guys are up, I think, around 40 threes a game. Is that right?
I don't know.
Anyway, but the number is up, and
last year.
Boston's at 50, half the league is at 40. It seems like. Is there a like peak three? Like, is there a moment where it'll only be 50, or?
For us, I can't speak for everybody, but for us, it's a shot quality issue, and you're just trying to get the highest quality shot you can on a given possession. And threes are not the end game. The end game is getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line. Both of those things are more impactful shots and efficient shots than threes. But after those, clean threes by good shooters are really good shots because they're worth more points than twos. And so if we've got a good shooter taking a shot that he can make, that's a good shot for us, and we're encouraging the guys to do that. And the increased volume, I think, is intentional, not only with Shea and Dub, but guys like Wiggins, guys like Casey Wallace, Joe, Dort. These guys are really good shooters, so when they're open, they got to shoot them.
Thank you.
The Thunder's been living on the road. I've got Aaron Wiggins here alongside me as OKC takes on the Toronto Raptors here north of the border. And Wiggs, you guys got to go home for like 48 hours, and then you're right back out here. But you handled yourselves great, really dominated that game against Utah. And now you got to come back and face a hungry team here on the road in Canada. Tell me about kind of the state of this team right now and how you guys are staying mentally sharp.
Yeah, a lot of games stacking up upon each other, but we have the same mentality of just continuing to stack days, stack practices, stack games, possessions within games, to kind of just continue to get better. Our main focus is getting better every day, and coming off of the Utah win and stepping into the game today, just got to be prepared to go.
Yeah, and you guys are coming to face a team that's been playing really well lately, this Toronto team. They're 6-4 at home, actually, really good record here. Tell me about maybe some of the things that are going to be challenges for you all tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of really good athletes, and on the defensive end, they're, loaded in the gaps, and they try to, kind of get steals on ball. So we got to make sure, we're strong with the ball, we have good ball security, and we're making the right passes early.
Yeah, the right passes early is, you took the words out of my mouth, because this is a team that has aggressively trapped Shea in the past. They've done a few different things. How have you guys done a good job of executing off of that? Because you all have found ways to really score and succeed on that end of the
Yeah, I mean, just trying to create opportunities for space for him to kind of continue to be aggressive. Their aggressiveness on the defensive end will cause for gaps and openings for us to find open shots and layups and cuts, and just continuing to kind of have the mindset to make the right play, and the good things come back to you. So
yeah, there's really never a time on the floor where you don't have all 5 guys who can drive, shoot, pass, attack, do all of those things.
Yeah.
How much of a luxury is that for you guys to just have playmakers at all 5 spots?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome being able to just trust every single player on the court, knowing that the next man is just as capable as you are at any position on the floor. So it's awesome just being able to kind of have that trust and know that everybody on the court is capable of taking care of business.
You specifically just continue to shine in any role that you're put in. Tell me about just the way that you're feeling within your game right now. We know the 3-point volume is up, still very efficient somehow, despite launching more of them and taking more shots. But you seem to still be finding really good quality ones.
Yeah, still just hunting quality ones, like you said. Continue to kind of not drift from the base of my game, which is just the solid foundation of being able to play on both ends of the court, being able to make the right plays, finding cuts, finding offensive rebounds, getting more possessions, and just kind of continuing to build on that and expand on that. It has been the mindset. Nothing's changed.
There's a phrase that Mark Daigneault will say often, which is like, guys who come in here need to learn the system skills. They need to be experts on the system. You are a prime example of that. Do you take some pride in sort of being an example that Mark and the coaching staff can point to of like, hey, look at what this guy has done. He worked his way up, became an expert, and now he's gotten rewarded with it in many different ways.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, there's success that's come for me, from doing it that way and just kind of going about it, and understanding the process. So definitely a thing that I kind of, am proud of, and I continue to kind of, talk to some of the young guys and just tell them about the same kind of steps that I took and the same mentality that you kind of have, and the approach you got to have.
Yeah, there's a process of building a mentality. You've embodied it. This team is embodying it right now in the beginning stages of this season. Good luck out there tonight.
Thank you.
All right, that's Aaron Wiggins. I'm Nick Gallo, and this is Thunder Basketball.